They ask me who I am. I asked them, who was I? They asked me, who may I be? And I asked them, what have I become? They asked me, who was I? And I answered them, I am my ancestors. Judah Black, 1921.
Alright, welcome back to the second episode of 1921, the Godcast. We're here today with
Frank Galles.
and he is a landscape architect, correct?
Yes.
Very nice place to be employed, so we're going to get information from him. Once again, like and subscribe. We're just trying to highlight, minorities doing, good things as far as employment we don't want to be rappers, we don't want to be basketball players, sports players. We want to actually do something to the community. So, Frank, I'm going to ask you, what is your upbringing?
So I grew up here in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
So I'm native to this area. I know this area pretty well. Went to Sunnyside High School, played football there, and then I joined the military. So I did the military for 9 years. I got medically retired in 2022, and I decided to go the educational route. So, get my benefits and then just go to school. They pay for my school and, just get the benefits I didn't have before joining the military.
Nice. Let me ask you this. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Oh, thank you for your support.
Yeah, thank you for your service. I definitely appreciate you, going to the military and everything, because it's not for the weak-hearted. I'll tell you that right now. When you were in the military, did you have to do any combat, anything like that? Or
Yeah, so I deployed to Iraq in 2017, Operation Inherent Resolve. Did a 10-month tour from January to October of 2017, and lost a couple friends. Yeah, it happens. It's part of the job. And came back 2 years later. 3 years later, I'm out. So, and then they officially retired me in 2022.
Sorry to hear about your lost friends. That's definitely not something a lot of us as civilians go through. Losing friends. I know the military is probably like a brotherhood. So when you lose somebody, it's probably closer than somebody in the civilian world, because you're fighting with this individual. You're trained up with this individual to go into war. So it's totally different from what we experience in the civilian world. So, like I said, once again, I appreciate you for your service, keeping us protected and everything like that. So, condolences to your friends and their family and everything like that. But you were saying you had benefits in the military as far as I would take it as far as school, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Post 9/11 GI Bill. Now they implemented a vocab rehabilitation program where they actually help veterans get jobs after education.
Yeah.
So they'll pay your vocational.
Okay.
And then they help you with the interview process, setting up portfolios, a resume, and a cover letter for the business you are going into.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've definitely taken advantage of that throughout my time out of service, and honestly, I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very good, because you being young as well, you're a young man, and you took the initiative to take opportunity of your situation and say, hey, I'm going to take advantage of what the military is offering me, so this is what I'm going to do. And so that leads to your actual occupation right now, which is a landscape architect, correct?
Correct. Yes.
What were the steps to you actually saying, okay, this is what I want to be, a landscape architect? What were your steps leading up to that?
My initial thought process. That's a good one. At first, I thought, let's get the money. The world's about money, and no matter what, you talk about, it's about the money.
Yeah, true.
And so I was like, let's go computer sciences.
Nice.
Right?
Okay.
Let's learn how to read a computer. Let's learn how to communicate with computers. But that's another language that is more challenging than Spanish. If you remember in high school how hard it was to take Spanish class, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a completely different language. As late nights, I was frustrated,
Yeah.
and I thrown my laptop across the room out of frustration. So I was like, no, this ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like mechanics. How's mechanical engineering gonna help me?
Yeah.
Me not knowing what it really was. Once again, it was talking to computers.
Yeah.
The mechanical side of how to get a motor started. Not an engine, a motor. Something that is electrical, has a chip in it, how to talk to it, how to get it to start, how to function. Yeah. Was not for me.
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's talking to a computer and telling it what to do and how to do and why to do what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then one day it clicked in my head. When I was a kid, I used to love, drawing blueprints. I'd draw them on your little notebooks. I'd draw my house. I'd draw fire exits. And I draw all these little aspects of things. And I was like, what if I go become a landscape architect? How can I provide for the community, or even have the community reach out to someone like me to help them?
Yeah.
How to build a sustainable environment, how to build a more safe, walkable city. So that was my initial thought process through it, and that's what made it click. And it's, it runs. I'm not gonna say it runs through my bloodline, because that's, but it does. So, my dad owns his own landscaping business, and
What is that?
that is Travertine Landscaping.
Nice. Okay.
So
They're
we've
here
been
locally in Tucson?
Yeah, locally in Tucson.
Okay.
So if you guys are really interested, look them up on Google. Very easy to find.
One of the best. I heard they're one of the best, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
And that's the thing. This is no advertisement. It's if you want him to work in your area, he's not going to go and work on somebody else's spot while he's working on your area. He's going to solely focus on this place until it is completely done to the customer
So
satisfaction.
you have his undivided attention.
Undivided attention,
Wow,
attention to
project.
detail.
Nice.
Correct.
That's nice, because I know a lot of people, they kind of, okay, let me stay here for 2 days, and I'm gonna shoot over here for another 2 days, and then I'll come back to him. But that's nice to hear that he focuses on you solely and completes the project. That's very credible to him. Is running that business. So that's a lot of respect right there. So I can tell you that right now, he'll get a lot of customers because he's solely focusing on you at that time. So yeah. So man, that's great, man. So explain for the people and me as well that don't know exactly what a landscape architect is. Kind of give us like a detailed summary of what that would be.
Okay, so first off, we're not groundskeepers.
Okay.
We design around the engineering world, so hard structures. You're thinking these tall skyscrapers. How can we make them more safe? How do they become more walkable? You look at Tucson and downtown Tucson. How walkable is that? You don't feel very comfortable walking. Take tonight for example. It's a Friday night. And the clubs are, they're packed, they're popping.
Yes, sir.
So now you got 20 people walking one way and 20 people walking the other way on a 6-foot path. How safe are you gonna feel?
So that's where you come in.
That's where I come in. I redesign and innovate so that people can feel safer in a community. Seattle, Washington has done a phenomenal job. Downtown Seattle has done a phenomenal job of making their cities more walkable more transportation friendly, not vehicles, cycling and streetcars is what I'm talking about, to make pedestrians feel safer. You know, so that's where I come in. I redesign, make it an urban living environment.
That is deep. Because, I mean, when I used to go downtown, that's not even something I would think of is there's a job specifically for someone to make sure that I feel comfortable. Especially, you know, you downtown, you have a couple drinks and everything, and you're walking and you're never for once thinking, hey, there's somebody that's specific to this job to make sure when I'm walking, maybe a little intoxicated, that I feel safe walking, I'm not bumping into anybody.
Right.
So that's a deep job right there. Like, that's something that goes over people's head. And I'm pretty sure that makes a good amount of money. That's not that's not an ordinary job. That's a very good job. So that's crazy. Have you worked on any projects? Because I know you were in school, right?
Yeah.
How long? What's the whole process? How many years were you in school for that?
My schooling right now, I'm about to graduate this May with my first degree in landscape architecture. That took me 5 years to complete. It's a 5-year program.
Okay.
And there is an accelerated program that's 5 years, but you get a master's out of it. So essentially the only difference is that my paper says bachelor's, your paper says master's. The pay rate's the same because you're fresh out of school. You know, yeah, maybe in the long run, you're gonna make a few more dollars, but it all plays out the same way. If you play your cards right, you could be making the same, right? So it's a 5-year program, and it's strictly landscape architecture in those 5 years with your gen eds. You're not doing any other BS courses. You know what I mean? It's strictly landscape 101 through 498, and that is 5 years of school.
That's nice. So with the landscaping, are you the ones responsible for because I work in construction as well.
Okay.
Are you the one that do the blueprints as far as like the slopes and make sure everything looks good and the water drains?
Yes. That is partially our responsibility as well. That's one thing we need to work with engineers.
Yeah.
So we work a lot close to engineers and construction workers as well.
Yeah.
Now the blueprint aspect, it's 2 separate blueprints.
Okay.
But they measure the same, so when you overlay them, they line up just perfectly.
Nice. Because I see the blueprints in my field of work. I read the blueprints, so it makes sense what you're saying. You have the engineers and you have the landscaping that come together to make the complete blueprint, correct?
Yes.
Nice. Because I know on some buildings you have to have like a 2% slope to have the water come down so it doesn't flood your house or the building and stuff like that. So you have a hand in that type of stuff like that. That's amazing, man. That is amazing. So tell me this, what I know you say you're working with your father right now.
Yes, correct.
Correct. Tell me at least like one project that you're working with him that you're kind of, putting your expertise in with him to help him benefit with his business.
So what I do right now currently is his design.
Okay.
So he tells me what he sees.
Okay.
And I try and piece it together with a little bit of my twist on it.
Okay.
And so this previous project that we're working up in Dove Mountain, or like by the Twin Peaks area.
Okay.
We're working up there, client, it's an 1,800 square foot backyard. And this client had flagstone on there, and when they initially built these cookie cutter homes, they put sand, right? And there's a difference between sand and dirt. Dirt compacts and can hold solid. Sand, it's like beach sand. You can make it solid, but over time it's gonna lose its rigidity. So that's what they did. They put cheap sand, and then they laid the flagstone on top. Then they put this massive tree 10 feet away from the framework of the house. So now you got this massive palo verde, or this massive mesquite, lifting up concrete that no human can. Roots grow out as big as the canopy of the tree. I'm sure you've heard that. And so what he ended up doing was he had to take out the entire porch area that was not supposed to be touched. and that entire porch area was about maybe 400 square feet.
For just solely the porch area.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
And you're looking at 18-inch concrete thick. Like the man work to do that is phenomenal. That's what he's soon to be finished with one of my designs.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the end of next month, and I can't wait to see it. So hopefully we do this again and I can show you guys some results of the work we put together.
Most definitely, we can definitely set that up. Once you get the completed work, I will get 1921 of my team to come out there, show exactly how it started and the finished product and everything like that. That would be nice, to get people to understand. Okay, this is what he does and this is what he did. As far as like his job, that's something like that it would have went over my head. Like I would have never even put landscape architect to something that, hey, I want to go to school for this, but it's very lucrative. I know that because I work in construction. I'm an operator, and we need you guys. Like you guys are very important to our job because we cannot do anything unless we have the engineer's approval and the landscape architect approval. Because I'm on the job right now where they say, hey, we don't want you to touch this, what is that specific cactus? Saguaro.
Saguaro cactus.
We don't want you to touch the saguaro. It goes this way and then, so I'm digging around different stuff. So I can't do my job without you. So that's crazy, man. Now, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 31.
31. So you're still young. You went to school and you're graduating
May 17th of
May
this year.
17th of this year, and you already set yourself up through the military and the grants and stuff that they have to have a better career to support you in your life. That's what I'm talking about right there. A man that'll take initiative to do what he has to do to provide for his household. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah, I understand.
I got out of the military, I didn't want to do jack shit.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just wanted to let life take me.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, no, you need to, like, she drilled it in my head. And she's like, go to school. The late nights, it's all, been worth it. And, everything that she's told me, she's been on point with every single time. So it like, a lot of it was influenced by my wife. And that's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's good. You have, your wife supporting you because a lot of times with us men, we might be going through different things, but our wife see the potential in us,
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, keep going, keep pushing. So that's good to have a support system where she's like, hey, go to school, do this and do that because it's gonna better the whole household, So I definitely respect you. I appreciate you for what you've done. You're fighting in the service. Did your time in the service, and then you're still contributing to Tucson, your home city, by doing what you're doing right now. And it's not a lot of people that know about that trade specifically. So you even coming on this podcast is going to open up a lot of people's eyes, a lot of young kids' eyes to say, hey, I want to be a landscape architect, and I can make a lot of money with this. Because a lot of times we get caught up with me personally. If I didn't succeed in basketball, what do I have now?
Right.
What do I have? Or a lot of kids, if I don't succeed in rapping, what do I have?
Yeah.
We need to be better than that. And this is one of the jobs that they can be good at. And I appreciate you, coming on the podcast and showing like your steps and everything with that. Let me ask you this. Your time in the military, did they teach you anything about leadership and maybe like determination to, I know you say your wife inspired you to pursue this career, but how much of the military attributed to you saying, hey, I'm gonna actually make this work. I'm gonna actually press through. I'm gonna go through this 5 years of school to make sure I'm successful at my job and become a landscape architect. How did the military play a hand in that? Did that have any play, or was that determining to you?
I think the only play it had was the discipline.
Okay.
Homework assignments being turned in on time, trying to make the best of my GPA.
Yes, sir.
So that I can continue to get this money income.
Yeah.
Getting school paid for free.
Yeah.
Continue to have this knowledge. I don't think the military had anything to do with it. I'm gonna bag on the military a little bit here, and it is true though. You're just a number.
Military.
In the military, you are just a number. When you go to the DMV, they give you that little ticket.
Yeah.
It says come to window A444.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
Wow.
You're just a number. When you need to take care of you.
So discipline is literally how you got to where you are now.
Yes.
Discipline. That is amazing. You know what? Because for the last 2 months, I've been working on my self-discipline. Going to the gym when I don't want to. Getting up early for work. Earlier than I have to make sure that I'm there on time. I can only imagine, what you have to do in the military as far as discipline, but discipline plays a strong part in you being successful.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you said that because we need to be disciplined to be successful. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
What are some of the things you do as far as can be working out, getting up early? What are some of the things you do to discipline yourself besides your occupation?
So we just started doing a weight loss program, my wife and I, and that takes more discipline than I've ever known. I'm a foodie. I love food. You put a plate of something in front of me, I'm going to eat it.
Yes,
And no matter how many times you serve it to me, I'm not going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that discipline again through a different aspect. And this isn't just you don't just have the discipline for one thing and it sticks with you. No, you need to learn discipline you need to be versatile in your discipline. That way when adversity comes knocking on your door and wants to kick you down, you have that resiliency, that discipline to get up, fight back, and make it through your day. No matter if you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing a midterm and you're like, I got class in 3 hours. Go to sleep, wake up, go to class, and it's like it's literally discipline. And it doesn't go away. Like once you have it, it's harder to build on it, and it's easier to even lose it. It's easy to lose your discipline. I've laid in bed so many times not wanting to go work out. And my gym's 15 feet across my room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I've lost my discipline in working out majority of the time. And it's, that's all it comes down to is how far are you willing to nut up to get the things that you want? You want a nice body? Hit the gym 5-6 days a week. Not even the gym. I tell friends all the time, you don't need a gym. You don't need what I have in order for you to be successful. You can do with much less.
You still be successful.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But it's like the society that we live in right now. It's like they don't want us to have self-discipline because I believe a man with self-discipline is the most dangerous man ever. Not in a negative way, but in a positive way because he can help so many people. He can protect so many people. He can teach so many people as he has self-discipline. You're not reacting on straight emotion. You know how to control yourself. So that's one of the things I've been working on is my self-discipline. So for you to bring up that point, it just makes it that much better as far as self-discipline. You have to have self-discipline to be successful. If you do not have self-discipline, you are wasting your own time. And would you agree with me? Self-discipline is self-love.
Yes, it is. Completely, 100%.
Why would
Nope.
you say that?
Because nobody's gonna be harder on you than yourself.
That's true.
You tell me how many times in school, if you got picked on, if you did, you did. If you didn't, and you did the picking on somebody, like shame on you, because the world don't work that way.
Yeah.
But you tell me how many of those times did you look in the mirror and say, am I a fuck up? Am I a dweeb? Am I a nerd? You just gotta be you. You gotta do you, and you gotta be disciplined to what you want.
And that basically separates the boys from the men.
Exactly.
Being disciplined. Yeah, that's so deep, man. And that's very crucial to our community. Discipline. I like that. Because you can show the force of your labor through discipline. You're a homeowner. You're in school. You're about to graduate, have a good career. It's a lot of people that will look up to you because of self-discipline. So I definitely appreciate you for that. Before we go, is there anything that you're working for as far as like the future that you're any future plans that you want to put out there to anybody, or anything you're working on that you want to kind of shout out or anything like that?
No, I mean, it's just you got to stay on track. And those of you guys watching this podcast, be true to yourself, because nobody's going to be harder on you than your own self. Your conscience is a strong demon at times, and will get the best of you.
Yeah. Man, I want to thank you once again for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
This is another 1921 podcast, the Godcast. And I just want to inspire everybody to listen to the wise words of what my brother was saying. Look into his occupation, and that is something that you might want to do. You can always refer back to this podcast, and I have his contact information, and he can help you out and everything like that. But once again, this is 1921, the Godcast, and we're out.
And when I say thug life, I mean that shit. Cause these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever the fuck you think you are. We're thugs and niggas to these motherfuckers. And until we own some shit, I'ma call it like it is. How you gonna be a man if we start? Cause we have to look like 5 different houses, ain't a man in either one of them motherfuckers.
Woke up this morning, got up out the bed, brush to the teeth, 2 blunts to the head. Man, I'm tired of this shit. Ain't that what the fuck I said? Waking up another day, black nigga dead. Man, they got the KKK. This guy just like them feds. He was unarmed and with his family. How the fuck he end up dead? Scarred the child and killed the mother. How they supposed to move ahead? They put that pig up on vacation. Man, that's one in Bangladesh. Looking at a nigga's skin, man, they label me a pest. You can't hate, man, I'm screaming DJ Khaled, we the best. I'm just gon' keep this shit really real and get this off my chest. Feeling like I'm Al Pacino, Shaka Zulu, Slimmer X.
I got Samson in my blood.
That's why these niggas hate me.
King David, no fugazi.
That's why these niggas hate me.
Tried to fade me since a baby.
That's why these niggas hate me.
All this gold up in my skin.
That's why these niggas hate me.
I got Samson in my blood.
That's why these niggas hate me.
King David, no fugazi.
That's why these niggas hate me.
Tried to fade me since a baby.
That's why these niggas hate me.
All this gold up in my skin.
That's why these niggas hate me. Hey, lady, lady, yeah, lady. You can't fake me, you can't fake me, yeah, lady. Just like crack up in the 80s, 80s. I know you hate me, yeah. Touchdown pass, Gator baby, yeah. Y'all should what? That's my kid. That's my kid. That's my kid. What up, relative? What up, man? Yeah. And that's just how I feel. Why you trying to kill something that is very, very real? 192. Man, they sent them balls straight down through the roof. No more wood up on the green. Now they riding Tulsa clean. Black P, they did the same thing. Broken up the game. Looking back, Huey P and Black P won't be the same. And they expect me to erase all this shit from the back of a mic. Brain. The rage is in my DNA. I'm slimmer down Hussein. I got the blood of a madman in my veins. I got buff from eating books and then I broke my chain. You put the bleach up in the colors, then you whitewash mine. I got Samson in my blood. That's why these niggas hate me. King David, no fugazi. That's why these niggas hate me. Tried to fade me since a baby. That's why these niggas hate me. All this gold up in my skin. That's why these niggas hate me. I got Samson in my blood. That's why these niggas hate me. King David, no fugazi. That's why these niggas hate me. Tried to fade me since a baby. That's why these niggas